Hey everybody, welcome to the SMA Journey 51 vlog. Okay guys, in this week's video, I'm going to be discussing two things that have happened to me over the last 3 weeks that I think you need to know about, just so you can be updated as to what's going on in my life. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is that I went and saw my internist about 3 weeks ago, and she performed her annual physical on me and did the blood work, and a couple of weeks ago I showed you the blood work results and everything turned out great. But while I was there, I told her that I was having problems with my right leg. For some reason, my leg, say from the back of my thigh all the way down to my calf, my ankle, and my foot, for some reason, every once in a while it just goes numb on me. And so I want to tell you what she did and what she recommended. The second thing that I want to discuss is that earlier this week I went and saw my neurologist for my yearly face-to-face meeting with her. And I want to explain exactly why I went to see her and what she did. Okay, so the first thing over my leg was that about 3 weeks ago, while I was going through my physical, I told the doctor about the problems that I was having with my leg going numb. And while this problem has really been occurring over the last, say, 5 or 6 years, it's gotten progressively worse. And I'm a little bit concerned as to, there may be a problem going on in my leg that needs to be addressed. So after my doctor did the examination on me and the blood work, she went into another room and she brought back a machine that had these two little booties that she took my shoes and socks off, and she slid my feet in these little plastic booties, and what it was the heater would warm my feet up to a certain degree level. And after she warmed my feet up, she took the booties off and she put oximeters on the second toe of each foot. One on my left foot, one on my right foot. And the oximeter measures the amount of oxygen that my leg was receiving. And with the amount of oxygen, it can also determine the amount of blood flow that each leg is also receiving. My left leg tested out pretty good, but my right leg showed quite a bit of deficiency in the amount of oxygen that it was receiving. So with my concern and also with her concern, she recommended that I go see a vascular surgeon. So about 2 weeks ago, I went and saw a vascular surgeon, and he performed an examination on me to rule out any kind of blood clot, because if it is a blood clot, that's something that they need to address immediately. So when I got to the doctor's office, he performed the examination, and what he did was he put his fingers behind my right kneecap to feel for the artery that carries the blood flow from your hip all the way down to your foot. And you've actually got two arteries. One artery takes the blood down, and another artery brings the blood back up to your heart. And so he was checking to make sure that there was no blood clot. He performed a capillary test on my leg, my foot, and my ankle, and I was getting good capillary return. So the doctor ruled out a blood clot, which was very good news. But he told me, he said, one of the things that could be occurring is that I could have a small aneurysm in my right leg. Now, usually when you hear the word aneurysm, you think of your brain. But an aneurysm can occur in any part of your body that has blood flow. So he said, basically the analogy that he gave me was that if you think about trying to push 2 gallons of water through a garden hose that's only designed for 1 gallon, he said that's probably what's happening to my leg. Either the artery that's taking the blood down to my foot or the artery coming back up to my heart is getting too much blood, and when that happens, the artery expands, and when that artery expands, that's what's causing the pain and the numbness. So I asked the doctor, I said, okay, since it's not a blood clot, I said, what if it is an aneurysm? What can be done about it? And he said, well, we can either correct it with medication, or worst case scenario, they could do surgery. But he said, let's wait. He said, let's go ahead and do a CT scan on your leg. So they scheduled a CT for me, and I go in next Wednesday. I go out to Baylor Irving, which is a hospital out near my home, and they're going to run a tracer through my veins, which is a substance that they put in your vein that when they do the CT scan, the tracer illuminates all of your vessels in your leg or the area that they're looking in so that they can see it on the scan. And the CT will determine whether or not it is an aneurysm. Now, he told me, he said, if it's not an aneurysm, there's probably not much that he could do about it. he said this could be nerve damage or muscle damage due to sitting in a wheelchair for nearly 53 years. So I'm actually hoping that it is an aneurysm. And I never thought I would wish for an aneurysm. But if it is an aneurysm, they could probably correct it. But if it's not, this may just be a problem that I have to live with for the rest of my life. But we'll know more next Wednesday, and in next week's video, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Okay, so the second thing that happened to me over the course of the last couple of weeks was about 2 weeks ago, I received a phone call from my neurologist's office. And it was my neurologist secretary telling me that it was time to come in for my yearly face-to-face meeting. So on Tuesday of this week, I went to see my neurologist, and when she got in the room and after she looked at me and checked my blood pressure, she performed an examination on my strength. She gave me a strength test on my neck and my back, my shoulders, my arms, my core strength, and we also tested the amount of grip strength that I've got in my hands. And after she performed this examination, she compared them to the results that she had from a couple of years ago. And she was quite surprised at the amount of increase in strength that I showed. She was very, very happy with this test results that she found. And she told me, she said, that I've improved in every single category of every single strength test that she performed. So she was really happy with this, and so was I. So with the increase in strength, she told me that she's going to go ahead and rewrite the prescription for my Spinraza. Now that's something that you need to think about yourself, was that every year this prescription needs to be renewed. So if you haven't gone to see your neurologist in the last year, make sure you make an appointment, because they need to rewrite this prescription so that you continue with your Spinraza treatments. And I asked the doctor, I said, what do you think has caused the increase in strength? Is it the Spinraza treatments, or is it the physical therapy that I'm going through? And she said, she said, I think it's probably a combination of both, but she said the physical therapy is definitely benefiting me with regards to the physical strength and the amount of increase that I did show. So, and I've been saying this for basically the last 4 or 5 months, is that if you're going through these Spinraza treatments, make sure you talk to your doctor about doing physical therapy. I hope and pray that your physical therapy is going to help you as much as it's definitely helped me. All right, so you're up to date as to what's going on. Again, next week I'll tell you what happened to my leg and what they found on the CT scan and exactly what they're going to do about it. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you do subscribe to my channel, make sure you click on the little bell icon to be notified of any new videos. All right, everybody, I hope you've had a fantastic week. God bless you. And until next Sunday, bye-bye.